How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we're talking about this, that, and everything in between. I see that Bricko Mode dove in here while we were getting everything together. He jumping up here with that Ohio. So how you doing? Uh, it's good to see you again. I'm glad that you came to the podcast. I know that you guys had asked me to look into a few folks. I didn't get a chance to take a look at those folks before today's show. I do know now who Mr. Rogan is, so uh I can go ahead and follow him, but I know you wanted me to go after Justin, and I got to go back and look into Justin to see what Justin's got going on. But I am definitely, I told you we're in the house, whether we're later on time, we're always in the house. 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 5 Pacific. It's about 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, probably 5:30 Pacific time right about now. So we're just getting started. So don't think that you missed anything. We got it under control. We're here and we're making it do what it do. Uh, Today's show we're talking about we're actually gonna kind of tiptoe into something that we were supposed to be doing yesterday because I thought yesterday was Sunday, so we went in yesterday and we started doing Q and A's for the fans yesterday because I thought yesterday was Sunday. I do this so much, I got so many things going on. I wake up and I can't tell which day of the week it is. So yesterday I did Sunday show and today we're doing today's show. I see Trey Jason, how you doing, bud? Uh, yeah, there he is. So we're starting to see the squad coming in. Love you from Brazil. Hey, special shout outs to all y'all from other areas. I think y'all are in our top 10 or top 20 countries that jump in and shout out to us. I appreciate y'all support. Make sure that y'all like and subscribe as y'all come to the show because, y'all make us who we are. And is Brazil on there? If it ain't on there, I'm going to have to add it to the list because I know that we've got Russia in there and we've got hold on. We've got Russia in there, and then we've got Romania in there. Russia, Germany, United Kingdom, India, Australia, South Africa, Mexico, Canada, Indonesia, and the Philippines. So let's throw Brazil on the back end over there. So number 13. Because I know that you guys have been showing us love in other countries, in addition to the love that we get from America. So I appreciate you guys for coming to the show. Today we're going to be talking about the right and wrong way to get it in. So, love from he giving shout outs, y'all. He's talking about North Korea. He's got Epstein Islands. Let's get those Epstein Islands in there. And then he's asking me to throw down. So I was able to get as far as Mr. Rogan. So you wanted me to go and look up all these other folks here. So you were asking me to look at Justin Parks, and you said something about a Fleetwood, and I don't know who that guy was, but I think I said his name so many times that the ATF got me on TikTok. I was like, bro, that's not like backwoods. That's not like that's like talking about a Michelin tire or something like that. But they did it. So I was like, hold on. This why me and TikTok don't be getting along a lot of the times. But you wanted me to go and take a peek at Justin. So I gave you my word that I'm gonna go over there. So since I hadn't done it yet, I'm gonna go ahead and get over there and try to take a peek at who he is and make sure that I find the right one, because you're gonna send me, and then I'm gonna have to get everybody with a park on the back of a name, like Finding Kenny. That ain't even showing me a park. How do you find he did this video on the low? That's the one you're talking about? Oh, look, I'm looking up the wrong one. I'm looking up a Justin. You said John. Hold on. You see how life be doing us? Now, that's looks like a Korean singer. Is that the one you wanted? That's the one you're looking up? The Korean singer? John Park? Yeah, it says John Park. It's kind of got, so he's got 81 videos and 104,000 followers. Is that the one you're talking about? All that matters is John Park. He's like John Skin. So y'all want me to look up all these folks All right, so I didn't. John Park. He's a pig. I don't know. I don't see no pigs on here. Oh, do not discipline John Park's call. Is that the one you're talking about? That says Chris Mamili. Is that the one you're referring to? It looks strange. I'll follow that one too, just to see what happened. Wait, hold on. Let me click his thing. That says Cha Mamili. That doesn't actually say John Park. There is a John Park Bluff. There is a Who is John Park with a pig in the background. He said, do Violet Scar. So hold on. Johnny Skin, Johny, Johnny Skin. Okay. I see a Johnny Sky, not a Johnny Skin. I see there's a pro fighter. Here's Johnny. There's a Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. Were you talking about Johnny Sky? We were supposed to be talking about some. Oh, Johnny Skins. Let me put an S on it and see if that helps. No, it does Johnny Cage with shades on it. I don't even see anybody that closely resembles that. There's a Roblox one. All right, so let's move on. He said, do Violet Scar. So let's see Violet Scar. I did tell you guys I was going to look at some of these. What you said? VIOLET, Violet Scar. Now you got to understand that if any of these names are attached to adult workers, they're not going to have a YouTube channel. So I'm supposed to be looking up individuals with YouTube channels so that I can follow them. So I want y'all to notice that I'm looking. I told y'all that I would look. And I see I got a Scar Violet binder. That's Pokemon pack. He didn't anything with John Park. Okay, so I got something with John Park on it. He is a pig. I got that. So John Park is the pig. And then we got a lot of stuff. John Park is calling. Oh, yeah, I did. I tagged that one. John Park is calling. Yeah, that one. Okay. So I got that one correct. So, man of my word, I told you I was going to get over there. I didn't get there as quickly. I was supposed to do it before the next show, but, I got tied up because I've got back office stuff I got to deal with. Pig man. Yeah, it was weird. Does the pig have a hat? One of them has pig in the hat. Johnny Sins. Oh, see, you had me looking at the wrong one. So Johnny Sins. Johnny Sins. Let's see if I look up Johnny Sins. First thing comes up. He explains, okay, I'm not even going to say that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to subscribe to that specifically because the first topic that came up was about that. Wow. Or browser. Is it like browser or like web browser? Because it's like browser history. Is somebody named browser? I see Dr. Glitch. Browser tutorial. Browser history. Which browser were you talking about there? I told you I follow a couple of y'all recommendations here, so I'm over here trying to find them. I see browser tier list, the browser war. You can help me out which one of these big YouTuber. I mean, yeah, but I know, but I'm saying like when I search it, it doesn't come up as a. So what happens is when you put something into the word search, everything with a this one says the browser company CEO. Let's tag that. What happens is that it shows me everything that has that word in it. Now, it's a she. She has lots of followers. Oh, come on. See, now that makes sense. Lauren Alex. See, you tell me a name like browser, and I'm like, bro, if I type in browser, it's going to give me everything that says browser in YouTube. You give me the girl's name now, that's different because her name should be attached to her YouTube account unless her YouTube account is a business. Then her business will be tied to her YouTube account. And that's actually for anybody that is a paid content creator. I actually encourage you to have your business attached to or have your YouTube account attached to a LLC or a C corporation, because then you can get tax deductions from all of the profits that you get from your uh, YouTube account, and that will help you out with tax write-offs. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say outfits, and y'all are gonna say I know. And then I'm gonna tell you about this Halloween thing, and then y'all are gonna say I know. And then there's something about a skirt, and you already know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit that one. That makes sense. Now, keep in mind, if the red team wins, some of that stuff is going to be taken offline, so you're not going to be able to enjoy it for long. Did you? But for those of you that do get a chance to see some of that, yeah, yeah, I thumbs up on that one. I approve that message. So you asked me, do I want you to donate again? Hey, if you want to donate again, you can donate again. I'm always encouraging those people to throw down and show support on the podcast. I tagged most of the people that you showed me that I found. Anyone that I didn't find, I'm gonna have to do a deeper dig to find, to make sure that you guys got uh, uh, all of your homies are tagged by the live podcast, which also means that they're going to have new followers on their podcast, which means that they should be able to see this and that on their podcast, and they'll be able to come to the podcast and dive into the show. Maybe you could talk Lauren into coming to the show, not dressed like that, but coming to the show and being able to talk to us about the ups and downs and rights and wrong ways of getting things done these days. Uh, Real quick before we keep going, I want to make sure that I get this ability for those people that are over the age of 18 to be able to jump into the podcast, because like I told you before, as much as I would not normally have a problem with folks jumping in, as long as they're being appropriate, unfortunately I can't have kids on the video. That's like just laws right there. So I got to make sure that you're over the age of 18. But if you are and you want to jump in, then I've got the invites from TikTok, and then the rest of you guys that are on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, because we've got YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter over here. You guys got some links that y'all can click so that y'all can dive into the podcast. You said Epstein. Who is, you wanted me to look at which Epstein though? Because there's like, I off the top of my head, I think about a John Epstein. You tell me to look up an Epstein. Epstein Island. So let me see Epstein Island. EPFSTIN TIEN Island. Oh, the Epstein Island story explained. Okay, so we're gonna check that. But that says TRT World. So you wanted me to go to TRT World, or do you want me to actually find Epstein Island as a source? But I looked it up though. I got it. I got the story tagged as a watch later, so I'll be able to see it at a later time. Can't actually. Let's see. Boom. So we're gonna put it in a watch later list. So you see, I got you guys covered, throwing it down. And then oh, when you go there, that's when all the other people start showing up. So Mr. Kong shows up. I gotta get that later. See what he been doing wrong, because you know he ain't been up to no good lately. So I think I covered everybody. I think I covered everybody. Everybody that I thought I was supposed to cover, as far as I know. Um, let's see. Oh, hey, y'all know about delete laws? They have a podcast out there where this guy keeps getting he keeps getting all his stuff taken down because every time he gets on, he's saying something that YouTube don't like, and they take his videos down. So I'd be like, dang, that's rough. That's rough. But wanted to make sure that we got them all in there. All right. I think I got everybody's stuff in there. I think I got everybody's stuff in there. So let me know, y'all. Let me know if I missed something. If I missed something. If I didn't miss anything, you got Ohio in there. So that means I did it good. When Ohio is in there, that means we did good. So he's representing the hometown over here. So I got everybody up. Everybody up there. So today we're supposed to be talking about the right and wrong way to get it done. Appreciate you guys giving us a shout out, throwing us in today. Yeah. I appreciate the shout out for Lauren, Miss Alexis. Yeah. Sophie Rain. Sophie, well, you said you was gonna be throwing me some donations. You got me taking the whole first 30 minutes of the show just looking up folks. I'm gonna go find them. I said I would. I'm gonna go find them. But hold on, let me see. You said Sophie, and I'm only doing it because Alexis was a good review. So that's why I'm looking at the other ones. Just saying. So LPHIE Sophie Rain. That this one's talking about her TikTok page though. It actually says Sophie Vlog. Is that the one you're talking about? You're like it looks like these are the reasons why you're not thinking about money most of the time, bro. I can see why you're not thinking about getting cash. None of these, this is not her profile page, but these are just pages with her name on it though. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's her profile page. She's not the one that was in the Spider-Man outfit on TikTok. That's the other chick. But I got it. And he said, look at the last thing. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so as entertaining as it is for to be following these podcasters, because I always encourage us to show support to other podcasters. Never gonna say don't follow a podcaster, but yeah, the Spider-Man, yeah, I see the Spider-Man. She's not the Spider-Man, bro. She's the Spider-Woman. So she would I ideally be considered a Black Widow. For all intents and purposes, because the Black Widow is usually the spider that kills her partner. One of those things. It's like, woo, it's rough. Um, so kind of wanted to throw that out there real quick. But definitely. I've marked all of your recommendations. I marked all your recommendations. I can tell you right now that yeah. Yeah. Lost my train of thought. I'm gonna have to do some research after the show. Okay, so as we continue, we were supposed to be talking about getting things done the right and wrong way to get things. Lord, every time I get ready to get started. See, Sunday we was just supposed to be talking about some stuff. So bro, am I gonna spend the whole hour looking up folks? Hold on, let me pull this up on my other thing right here, because you got me looking up some. You're making it hard for us to move forward, bro. You're making it hard. And you said you was like, oh, bro, I'm gonna throw something at you. Start throwing some stuff. You got me that I just stopped talking about all the positive things that we were supposed to learn today, so that you could have me trailing down this avenue of who is the new Catwoman. Uh, just really trying to figure out like what the deuce. Now you told me to go find. Let me minimize this because I don't want that to be in the way of this. Let me minimize this. And you said Lana and that's but is it Lana Rhodes, like Cody Rhodes' sister? Are you familiar with Cody Rhodes? As soon as I seen that, like, yeah, that's got to be Cody Rhodes' sister. And then as soon as I say Cody Rhodes' sister, there it is. There it is. Oh, bro, that's like the first thing that comes up. Got 1.7 million views from 3 years ago. The dark side of Lana Rhodes. Wow, they outdid themselves with that. And then the other one that you said was Mia, and all of these are going to be out of jobs. Khalifa. So isn't she like Kofi Kingston's girlfriend or something? Mia Khalifa. I don't know who Mia. We're gonna find Miss Mia here. Banned. Okay. Nope. It's talking about how she ruined her life. Oh, that's the one that made fun of the military. Bro, she should. I don't know why. She went viral on TikTok too, as a matter of fact, because like some of the adults was going in on her because she's supposed to have like 30 million subscribers on one channel and how many more millions of subscribers or 50 million or 20 subscribers on another channel. And between the two, she yeah, she really ruined her reputation by talking bad about the military. You know, you're not supposed to talk bad about the military. I said that before when people was asking me controversial questions about the CIA. I will never say anything bad about people who have more authority than I do to invade my house and do things to me that will happen on a black site and nobody knows what happened. I'll never say anything bad about, because why? I like my freedom. And I don't see her podcast though, but I definitely see everybody talking about how she says something bad. Oh, ooh, uh-uh. They're talking about, oh, that's 2 years ago. She used to be a mark. Okay, no comment. I'm not gonna go in on that. I seen it though. I seen it. You told me to go look. I looked. I looked. I peeked. That's it. Should I start a webcam studio to make money? Okay, good question. Good question. Now, depending on what you're putting up on the web, depends on what you can do to make money. One of the reasons being is that you yourself, being under the age of 18, cannot project yourself in a negative light because that will be against the violations of law. So, if you yourself, as an underage individual, are going to be seen on the camera, it has to be an appropriate video. You yourself have to be speaking in an appropriate level. So you can't be using too much derogatory vocabulary. You cannot be making gestures or innuendos or insinuations in a negative fashion. And it probably would be better if you throw up a green screen and some other stuff so that people can't really identify your specific location in the interest of safety. In addition to that, it's really hard to throw up a webcam studio and just start recording stuff and just think that it's instantaneously going to make some money, because oh no, in that case, now that I'm looking at new information, no, definitely don't do that. No, definitely don't do that. Hey, if you could pull that off in private without, I could high five you, because bro, hey, guys support guys that can get it, but girls who do what guys do is not with it. So I would say, uh, thumbs up if you pull something like that off, but I'm not going to tell you that you should do that, especially not for money. Again, because one of the things that you're going to find out is that here in coming in 2025, especially if the red team gets into play, that you're not going to be able to do that to get money. Not anymore. You said, but I run everything. Well, if you call some of those hubs or you call some of those X shows, that those websites that do that kind of stuff, and not call them, email them, because nobody uses a cell phone anymore. Nobody actually calls anybody anymore. They text each other and they email each other. So you have to email them, set up an account, and if you email somebody and set up the account, then that entity will give you authorization to run your account the way you want to run your account. And if that happens, they would pay you. And then if you got the people doing it for doing the work for a price, you got to pay them out of the profits of you getting paid. If they're volunteering like guest stars and stuff like that, then they show up, they put in work for the show, and then you get paid for the way you produce and promote the show. Again, I'm going to tell you, that is not a field or an industry that I recommend at your age or any age really to get into. While I'm not going to say that I'm not a fan of the product, I am going to say that it is not appropriate. It is not appropriate. Back in the day, we used to have magazines. Now we have joining John Paul. I already follow. I already subscribed to the man's channel. I already subscribed to his channel. I think he even replied. I seen a comment up there, but I couldn't do anything about it because I'm on a live podcast right now. So John should see this and that in his subscriber list, and John should be able to come and subscribe to the podcast and come over here and come and see what we got going on. And as long as John is having appropriate dialogue, he can even come on to the show. But you got to remember, John's got to be at least look like he's 18 now, and we've got to be talking on a professional manner. There are no and there are any benefits of no. Actually, the outside of so there is one benefit to that question. I can't put that question up, but there is one benefit to that question. Men have an issue with prostate cancer, and that activity does alleviate or reduce the risk of prostate cancer. However, excessive anything is never good for your health. So too often, it's not going to give you hairy palms, but too often it's definitely going to be it's going to have you a negative effect on your body, because you're going to have low counts, you're going to have low energy, you're going to have low stamina, and it's not good over the long term. Oh, no, I did not get the pig meme. What I got was a podcast that has Joe Park on it. I told you there was too many of them up there. There was a bunch of people named Joe Polk. What about Rogan? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so Joe. Okay, hold on. We got to go. I said that I was going to go take a peek at Mr. Rogan. So I'm going to go over there and I'm going to go find Mr. Rogan. Hold on. Oh, that's what that was. Super old school. Okay, so we had a couple comments that came in. Joe, is he on the CIA watch list or something? Because I don't want to be like affiliating with people that are like locked up or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be referencing individuals that are not supposed to be on. Okay. I see his podcast. He's safe. 17.9 million subscribers. He's safe. He hasn't said anything that he's not supposed to say on the podcast. Okay, because you got some guys like Tate and some of those other guys that get up there and they say things that get themselves banned, and anybody else that supports their stuff usually gets banned shortly thereafter. So you got to kind of be careful. Like, I found out that Fresh and Fit went off the air not just because of the content that they produced themselves. They went off the air on YouTube primarily because they had Mr. Tate on their show. And that's why I was like, oh, because he was banned from broadcasting. So being banned from broadcasting, you can't bring a banned content creator onto your content because they will ban you too, because he's not supposed to be seen on YouTube, right? So can't really talk about him too much. John Park is calling. He is a mean. Look up Chris Jocelyn. Y'all gonna have me spend my whole afternoon looking up all these people. We were supposed to be uh Chris. What about Chris from Mr. Beast? I remember we were talking about that one. I'll do those two. I'll do those two. So you said Chris Jocelyn. All right. There it is. Like number 4 on the list, Chris Jocelyn. Now that's talking about, she don't know what she be talking about. That is okay. Oh, the skateboarder. But that says Thrasher magazine. So hold on, let me see if I got one that's actually him. This says Mr. Nahem. This one has Kevin on it. Oh, okay, I see. No, but that's a remix. The 6-minute video. Which one of y'all is it in that 6-minute video? Part B. Which one of y'all are in that 6-minute video? Because this is a guy that's like skateboarding and stuff. I can't put it up on the screen here, but it says Kevin. It says Chris Jocelyn, Plan B, True Part, where he looked like he broke his backbone, and then he tried to break his skateboard. Why would you try to break your skateboard because you fell, bro? That makes absolutely no sense. And he's doing it with a broken finger. Like, how did he break his finger? And why is he still skateboarding with a broken finger? Like, I feel like that is the worst thing to do. Well, I don't understand why you guys do this stuff off of stairs anyway. Like, what is the thrill about flipping off of? And you know, there's a right and a wrong way to do this. And the right way to do this would be to have like knee pads and elbow pads and, you know, cup, jock strap, just in case, protect your family jewels. And for some reason, these guys have no helmets, no knee pads, no elbow pads, no cup. They're wearing baggy pants. They don't even have good leverage. It looks like guy's pant leg got caught up in his pants when he went for the jump. And you guys wonder why you fall off the skateboard. I remember Tony Hawk Pro Skater when I was young. And I got to tell you that this is what we called ourselves trying to do when we were mashing all the buttons. And the way this guy just fell with the black shirt and the red shoes, that's exactly what happens to us. So yeah, I've caught that a couple times. I'm guessing that this is going to end badly because you're telling me to keep watching, like something is going to happen. It is a lot of people crashing and burning. Like, you're just trying to get me to watch this so Chris can get some views. Because all I'm seeing is a bunch of people crashing and burning. And it looks like Chris needs to practice more. So whoever's Chris, go practice more. You got to understand skateboarding, and the feeling of landing a trick is the best feeling ever. Now, I understand skateboarding the way I understand golf, bro, but you got to understand at the same time is that I don't get why you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and then break your skateboard because you fell and hurt yourself. The same way I don't understand why a golfer spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a golf club and then he breaks the golf club because he missed the stroke. It's like, dude, why are you break that, you could take your anger out on the fact that you messed up. The device didn't mess up. The skateboard didn't mess up. You messed up. The golf club didn't mess up. You messed up. So the right way to handle that is to punch yourself in the face because you messed up. Why beat up the club? The club did nothing wrong to you. Like answer me that. That's like having a Glock switch and the gun doesn't discharge because you forgot to take the safety off, and then you throw the gun because the gun didn't discharge. Take the safety off, bro. Like, or buy a gun without a safety. Either way. He's so good. I can say that he's all right. He's all right. Like he reminded me of Tony Pro Skater, so I could say that he's all right. He's a He's a okay, hold on. I can't say on earth, but I can say that he's above average right now because I can also say that 20 years ago there was like 5 skaters that were better than him. But I also understand that he's not in a competition right now. He is out there practicing, so the mistakes that he's making on the terrain that he's in is the phase that he puts in to getting to be that pro that doesn't make any mistakes in the tournaments. It is a battle of going through pain. He's sponsored, gets free boards. So he can break the board because he's sponsored? I I guess. Yeah, he's a bit insane. I still can't say he's the best skater on earth. Okay, see that? See that? Now you're being more realistic. Top 5. Top 5. Okay. Top 5. I'm not a fan. What? Yeah, how are you going to say that I'm not a fan? I'm not okay, I'm not a critic of skateboarding, but I'm familiar with it. You're telling me that I'm not a fan because I can critique the observations of failure based off of the endurement of stupidity. Because notice the comment that I made was not that his form was wrong. The comment that I made was that the man wasn't wearing the appropriate protective gear that is usually seen in the regulated tournaments. So whether or not he's good or bad at what he does, the fact that he's not wearing the appropriate padding to keep himself from getting as injured just really points out that I'm able to recognize that he's carelessly attempting the skateboarding tricks, and the injuries, some of the injuries that he's getting, he doesn't necessarily have to get. Is you're a pro, you're not a pro skater, but you're a regular skater. What is so uncomfortable about the half helmet, the elbow pads, and the knee pads? What's so uncomfortable about that? Why don't you guys wear that? And then since you're men and you're skating on railings that have bars, that if the bars go between your legs, you got more to lose than women. Why are you not wearing a cup and jock straps? And answer me that. Answer me that. Football players wear it and they're less likely to be hit in that area. You are falling on that area while you're skateboarding. Why are you not wearing that equipment to keep yourself from being injured in that area? He's better than Tony Hawk. I can't say he's better than Tony Hawk. I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that. Pat Duff. I can't say Pat Duff either. I can't say he's better than Pat Duff either. Maybe Milton, but I can't say not Pat Duff. Nah. All of them also had sponsors, and all of those guys had video games with their names on it. So when you start talking about somebody is better, I have never seen a Chris Jocelyn video game, but I've definitely seen a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. So hold on now before you start talking about who's better than who. I mean, Chris Jocelyn hasn't had his own action movie where he's able to skateboard through the movie as a superhero. So like, let's not we can't we can't say he's the best of the best, and they got people that's allegedly less good that have had more field promotion than him. You can't. That doesn't work that way. None of them do, right? But I'm asking you because you are a skater. What's wrong with that? Why are you guys? Either that's different. Most skaters only wear pads on vert and bowl skating, not street. It's cultural thing for them. I understand, but why though? Why? You wear it during bowls, but you don't wear it during street. That's different. Most skaters only wear pads if it's bowl skating, not street. Oh, that double hit. Okay. And you say that you don't do it either. Okay, but why don't you do it? So that's true. He's hit those areas on the rails multiple times. And okay, so now he's trying to tell me that Milton he's way better than Milton. I don't know, bro. I have to disagree with you on that. Tony Hawk skated in the prime of skateboarding, and he was more marketable. That's why people think that. Anybody that is skating anybody that's performing in action in their prime is still considered the best in their prime. So are you saying that Chris Jocelyn right now is in his prime? That means that this is the best of Chris Jocelyn, because if that's the case and he's still not marketable for a video game on Xbox or PlayStation, then he's not as good as Tony Hawk. Because see, one of the things that you guys like to do in the young generation is you try to compare your generation's good person to a greatest of all time category, and that is not feasible, because you cannot tell me that Tony Hawk Pro Skater, who was awesome in the early 2000s 20 years ago, is not as good back then as somebody is good right now, because they're not skating side by side. The only way you can compare those two is compare stats. You're looking at speed, you're looking at height, you're looking at a difficulty of stunts, you're looking at active rate, you're looking at championships won, you're looking at competitions participated in. And that's how you would be able to compare a 20-year ago in his prime versus a 2024 in his prime. And even in that scenario, you're still not able to say that Chris Jocelyn's got better stats than Tony Hawk, but Chris Jocelyn doesn't have a video game, but he's got a sponsor. He is pro for the same company as Pat Duff. They are on the same skating team. So Tony Hawk and Pat Duff are on the same skating team. Or is Chris Jocelyn and Pat Duff on the same skating team? Because either way, Pat Duff and Tony Hawk was on a video game, and Chris Jocelyn wasn't on a video game. He was the first good skateboarder, but he cannot do anything better than Chris Jocelyn. He can't do anything now. Dude is ancient now. Tony Hawk wasn't in his early 20s when I was in my early 20s. So, I mean, now that I'm in my 40s, that dude has got to be like 50, 60 years old. He is not young anymore. And Chris Jocelyn is not old as dirt. The sport has changed a lot over time. People get better. But no. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. When the sport changes, people don't get better. When the sport changes, the sport gets less difficult so that people can do more stuff. They're not getting better. If they're getting better, the sport doesn't change. When the rules are less difficult, when the obstacle courses are less difficult, you're saying that somebody back in the day when the rules were harder and the obstacle courses were more difficult, the ability to get a point was more challenging, the ability to get a trophy was more challenging back then, and everything is more relaxed now, everything is more lenient now, everything is more favorable towards noobs now. And you're going to say now, in the new generation, the skaters are better. That's not true, because he can't do now under the same conditions that skating was 20 years ago. The difficulty of the courses, the rules and instructions and regulations of the courses, the must-haves, that stuff isn't here anymore. Something as simple as you're supposed to have the protective padding on at all times during a competition style stuff versus you don't have to have that. Your range of motion is changed based on whether or not you're wearing elbow pads, knee pads, and a helmet. Your range of view is changed whether or not you have a helmet on. Your a style of falling, knowing that you're going to fall on protective padding versus falling on non-protective padding. All of that has changed. So you can't say that the people get better because the sport is changed, and now all of a sudden, Chris is that much better than archaic Tony Hawk. No, that's not true. It was more dangerous back then. So the stuff that he was able to do with more extreme danger involved made him more successful at his tricks because he had more to lose than Chris. So he's going to go back and say Chris Joslin is better than Pat Duff. Pat Duff said that Chris Joslin was the beta street skater of all time in the interview. You know, I can tell you that people that are on my team are better than me because I know that I'm better than them, and I'm just going to boost them up just so that I can make them look good. So, yeah, you pointed that out. They're on the same team. Okay, now that makes sense. Chris Joslin is the later versions of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which means that Chris Joslin in today's day is performing the way Tony Hawk used to perform. So that doesn't make him better than Tony. That makes him on par with Tony. Okay. So Pat Duff said in the interview that Chris Joslin was better than him. Chris Cole, James Thompson. Again, if I tell you that the people on my squad are the best of the best and I rely on them, I count on them, you know, that they're better than me, that's boosting their ego and their stats. If I'm in a competition and I'm the champ and I tell you that my colleagues are better than me, that makes them champions above a champion by my promotion. We're never going to compete against one another. I'm not going to say nothing bad about my squad, but the fact is that we're not in a scenario where I'm promoting them because I admit they're better than me because I can't even beat them in a championship. That doesn't happen. You notice John Cena and The Rock will tell you that like the great Monsino or Maven or somebody is like great, but them superstars have never been in movies. They've never cameoed anywhere. They barely held titles, if anything. Just because somebody tells you that they're great, but they don't win, I mean, really, how great are they? Okay, he hand flipped. Where did he do it? He hand flipped Hollywood High School 12 stair when he was 12 years old, and he ollied a 16 stair at 12 years old. What does that got to do with anything? Is he 12 right now? How old is he right now? 20? Is he's 20 right now, right? He's not 12 right now. So what he did when he was 12, what he did when he was 12 made him great when he was 12. He's still not the greatest of all time. And what he did when he was 12 doesn't mean that he can still do that at 20. The others are on other teams that Chris Joslin's team said. Okay. So he was naming other people on other teams. Now, yeah, you can say that your team is better than everybody else's team. Chris Joslin has the greatest 350 flip ever. Is that in the world's book of records? Because if it's not in the Guinness Book of Records, it's not the greatest ever. Look up Chris Joslin 360 flip video and Chris Joslin hard flips 12 stair. He's better now. Okay, so he's better now than what he was when he was 12. Way better now, apparently, according to you. Way better than what he was when he was 12. So since he's way better than what he was when he was 12, the question is, where's his video game? Where's his sponsorship from EA Sports? Because Tony Hawk had one. Where's his movie deal? His 360 flip El Torino. Okay. I mean, I can do that. I can't show it on the show, but I can while I can look that up, the question is still, where is Tony Hawk? I see you guys, Red Void and Omni 81. I see you guys over there from Twitch. Again, where's Chris Joslin's contract? El Toro is a 12 stair. Okay, so El Toro, not El Torino. So El Toro being a 12 stair. So a 12-step staircase or 20-step staircase is what? 15, 20 feet high. And what he does is he comes off the higher level, does a really cool trick, and lands on a lower level. You're going to say 20 stair, but I mean, that's skater terminology. But you have to understand that a stair has 20 steps on it. So it's going to be a 20-step staircase because you don't have 20 separate stairs there. Think about it now. Now, this is logic and physics. This isn't the terminology of skaters. This is logic and physics. So to understand for people who are not skaters, who's watching a podcast right now, you're talking about a stair set, a staircase or stair set that has 20 steps on it from bottom to top. It's that big, where we understand that a step is usually between 2 to 3 feet distance apart. And then you're multiplying that by 20. So it's almost a 60-foot difference between the top and the bottom. That makes more sense. The best trick down, it is Chris Joslin 360 flip. He landed the best trick ever down it. Flipping 360 degrees in any direction is amazing. Huge impact. Yeah, especially if he hits the ground, if it lands flat on his face, like Brock Lesnar when he missed that shooting star press in WrestleMania. I mean, it's always good to watch somebody do a twirl in the air before he lands. But again, as great as you say he is, and then you're gonna say that he's still. I mean, dude, you're telling me to look it up. I can look it up again later, but I can tell you, looking it up now, you guys are gonna watch me watch it. You're not gonna get to see it. And the fact is that looking it up doesn't change the fact that if he's so good, how is he not marketable though? I know. You said Chris Joslin 360 flip El Toro. So everybody who's watching the podcast, you go find that video and come back. But then answer me the question. Like, if he's so great, how is he not marketable where he doesn't have like a movie deal where he's like skateboarding down the street as a superhero or a undercover cop or something like where is Jocelyn in like EA Sports? You've got football, basketball, baseball, tennis. You've got pickleball. They got this new game out there right now called Bay something or other. Where they how does Jocelyn not have a video game, but the dreidel from the Jewish holiday with the little spinny top thing with the little ripcord on it where you pull a thing and a little spins? Now they done made a cartoon about that toy. They done made a series about it. They done made toys out about that toy. Now you can get you a little ripcord and style it looking like a dragon, like a little statue. You could pull a little ripcord and it spins. You got little tops crashing into one another in this little circle, and that got more publicity than Chris Joslin. But Tony got a video game right next to Madden, right next to Fight Night. You can go look that up. Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It's on Xbox and PlayStation. But Chris Joslin ain't even guest starring. Where is his promotion? Like, he needs to get him a new rep. Like, if he's supposed to be so great, he's the greatest stair gap jumper. Okay, so he is currently in the active skating world the greatest stair gap jumper. He's on Tony's games. He's on Tony's games. Where? I don't remember ever hearing Chris Joslin on Tony Hawk's games 20 years ago. Watch his interviews. He speaks about it. Watch whose interviews? Because when was Chris Joslin on Tony Hawk's game? Because Tony Hawk's game was like 20 years ago. The later borrow versions. So wait, you're talking about the remakes of Tony Hawk Pro Skater after 2015? So in the last 10 years, when they do like the remaster versions of all the best games, because content creators don't have originality and they don't like make new stuff, they just remaster old good stuff and then put it back out. Chris is super young. He's 26. 6 years old right now. That's what I'm. Do you understand the magnitude of what I was just telling you about how you couldn't compare him and Tony? Because when I was a teenager, Tony Hawk had a video game out. I haven't been a teenager for at least 20 years. Chris is 26. He did awesome stuff when he was 12, which was 14 years ago. Tony Hawk's game, that boy was a kid. There are no Tony Hawk Pro Skater video games with a child skating against adults. The closest game you got to that was Snowboard Kids. So what game did they like take? And I understand that they could CGI his actions and put it on a different animated character, but which character was he? Because if he was 26, they would not have put him on a game until he was at least 18, which means he would have gone on a game 8 years ago. And what game did he go on? Nobody's better flipping down 16 stairs like Chris Jocelyn. I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree. And you're gonna laugh when I tell you this, but think about it. Think about it. Anybody that has the capabilities to hike their pants up, take off running while somebody's chasing them saying freeze, stop resisting, can do an excessively awesome flip down 16 stairs. The better ones actually get away. So, so how? Shoo, when they let them dogs go, you see some folks doing some flips, some jump, some wall runs. Like, I'm just saying. And they're not, they got TV shows about them. Cops, NYPD, America's Most Wanted. I could show you some places where some folks is doing some kick flips now. Okay. They don't all have skateboards, but they doing some kick flips. Why does nobody do it? Oh, they do it. It's just not aired on TV because they're under arrest after that. That's why. You also have when it comes down to publicity, certain people have good sponsors that kick flips are very easy. Not when you're being chased by canines, they're not. What's easy about it? What's easy about doing a kick flip when a dog is trying to eat your foot? Look, Red, Omni 81. I appreciate y'all for coming because we got Romania on the map. We got Russia on the map. We now got Brazil on the map. We were supposed to be talking about the right and wrong way, the good and bad way to get things done, and we spent the last hour talking about Chris. Well, we didn't spend the last hour because I mean I'm not gonna lie. Bricko Mode came out with some pretty good references earlier. Some of them have very interesting Halloween ideas. I recommend you go take those out. But we were talking about Chris Jocelyn for like at least the last 45 minutes, and we were supposed to be talking about how Chris is allegedly the greatest of all time, but he can't be the greatest of all time. He's like top 5 in the right now time, which is fair enough, but he's not the greatest. And I'm just trying to get Bricko to understand that while I'm not saying Chris Jocelyn is not great, he cannot be defined as the best of the best when you understand that in any sport, when you become the best of the best, you get movie deals, contract signings, you get video games made out of you, you get shoe brands. So the fact that there isn't a Kevin Jocelyn movie deal running with Spider-Man in the next Spider-Man movie, he's not 360 handrail flips underwater with Aquaman. He's not the best of the best of the best. He's just one of the greatest ones that exist in today's active roster, which I'm not going to say that he's not. I'm just saying that you understand the difference between the only seeing Kane, Randy Orton, Undertaker, and John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin in movies. You see The Rock in movies, but you don't see everybody else. Like Cody Rhodes was in a movie, but like how many times have you seen The Big Show in a movie? I think once. How many times have you seen like the Great Khali in a movie? Like never. Like how many times have you seen Rey Mysterio's been around since before Eddie Guerrero died? How many times did you see Rey Mysterio in a movie? Like never. Like there's a difference between being really good at what you do and being one of the greatest. The greatest go beyond what they're doing and start doing other stuff too. Like for example, even in basketball, you had Michael Jordan. You had Michael Jordan Space Jam. You had Shaq. With Shaq, what else did you get with Shaq? What else did you get with Shaq? You got Shaq shoes. You got Shaq in baseball. You got Shaq in movies. You got Shazam. It was a garbage movie, but you got Shaq. You know, when you Babe Ruth, like you get the baseball players. So you got bubblegum baseball cards. Even with the WWE, you had Mick Foley. What did you have? You had a Raw Deal, the trading card game. When you are really, really, really great, your name goes beyond the skateboard that you're riding on. Now you're right. Now there's a difference between kick flips on a flat and a bigger flip in gap taller and longer than himself. Yeah, you're right. So I mean, he starts. Let's let's settle. Chris Jocelyn is in all. I'm not gonna say all top 10. I'm gonna say top 10 of right now. And the reason why I'm going to say top 10 right now is because I'm not going to compare him to somebody that is not actively competing against him right now. If Tony Hawk's is retired and Tony Hawk's is no longer doing this, and Tony Hawk's might have been the greatest ones 20 years ago when Chris Jocelyn was 6, when Chris Jocelyn was 12, Tony Hawk was outside of his prime. He was on his way down, right? Which is why you say that Chris Jocelyn, by the age of 16, 17 years old, was better than Tony Hawk, who was no longer in his prime, right? And now, but when you say that he's better, I'm about to get on that comment right there. Hold on, I'm about to get on that comment right there. But he said, you say he has shoe sponsors, he has clothes sponsors, and all parts of sponsorship. No. There's a difference between brands putting their logo on your clothes, and you're getting paid to advertise for clothes. You're getting paid to advertise for other people's product versus the product having your name on it. There's a difference. Michael Jordan is on Nikes. Michael Jordan is not wearing Nike. There's a difference between having your own shoe and wearing somebody else's shoe for money. So when you have a Chris Jocelyn shoe, Chris Jocelyn's got a real shoe deal. When you got Chris Jocelyn outfits, like Gucci outfits, like Vuitton outfits, like Coach outfits, then Chris Jocelyn's got a clothing line, like a Steve Harvey suit. You don't have a Chris Jocelyn suit. You don't have a Chris Jocelyn skateboarding outfit. Chris Jocelyn might wear Nike. He might wear Adidas. He might wear Rockaware clothes. And he might get paid to do it. The same way Little John got paid to drink Patron. But did Little John ever have a bottle of alcohol named Lil John? No. He was paid to drink Patron and promote Patron, but he was not Patron. So Chris Jocelyn does not have his own clothes. Now, when you start talking about being sponsored by Rockstar energy drinks, he wasn't sponsored by Rockstar. So his Rockstar Promotions didn't put him in the next GTA as a backup character. He should be on GTA 6. He should be a side quest. You say he's sponsored by Rockstar Energy Drink, but Rockstar Energy Drink didn't put his name on an energy drink. There isn't a Chris Jocelyn energy drink. But Starbucks got an energy drink. I'm trying to get you to understand the difference between being promoted by sponsors versus promoting sponsors. When you're being promoted by sponsors, you're the best of the best. When you are promoting sponsors, You're just better than the rest of the people that are doing it while you're doing it. That's the difference. See what I'm saying? And you can say that in today's time, nobody else can do the kind of gap skating that he does. And I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, but I still can't tell you that in today's time that he is capable of doing the type of dangerous stuff that they were doing when they were gap flipping over Grand Canyons and fire and dump trucks and Bigfoots and all this other stuff that they ended up putting into video games back in the late 90s, early 2000s, back before the internet was created. You got to understand, stuff that they used to do back in the day, they don't allow them to do that now because it's too dangerous. As a result, the stuff that he's allowed to do, he's better at. But you have to understand, the stuff that he's not allowed to do, he can't even do it to see if he's better at it than somebody else who did it. He has his own shoe and his own pro board and his pro parts. What he's got? So he's sponsored by he's sponsored by it, which means he's paid by Rockstar to put Rockstar energy on his apparel, on his clothes, on his shoes, on his wristband, on his headband. So the stuff that he wears has Rockstar on it. The banner behind him while he's skating is going to say Rockstar on it. The mat that he's skating on is going to say Rockstar on it. But Rockstar is not going to have Chris Jocelyn on it. That's the difference. Rockstar is not going to say, get this new Chris Jocelyn flavored energy drink. That's what I'm telling you. There's a difference of popularity there. There's a difference between, him being paid by a promoter to promote the product versus the product paying him to use his likeness and use his name to sell a product. That's what I'm trying to get to. You'll understand the difference as you grow up, though. But you're going to understand the difference. His name is on brand products. All right. You're saying that his name is on brand products. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take time right now, and I am going to find Chris Johnson or Chris Jocelyn. Okay, look, I see Godwin, Brown, Hemsworth, Pratt, Evans, Paul, Pine, Staplin, Carnell. He is not even in the top 20 searches. I see, if I put a J, I see Jericho. Chris Jericho comes first. Jennings, Jones, Johnson, Jackson, Jenners. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just Judd, Jordan. I'm just trying to tell you. Okay, now let's get Chris Jocelyn. Now I Google Chris Jocelyn. Let me see what he's got for Chris Jocelyn. Was Chris Jocelyn in the Olympics? I see Chris Jocelyn, Plan B X Berry's autographed USA skateboard. Is that real? He says he has his own signature shoe made for Chris Jocelyn. He has his own signature shoes from Athens. His name is on their products. Let me see. I'm gonna find that. He says Chris Jocelyn's got his own shoe. Hold on now. You saying that Chris Jocelyn is the bee's knees? Let's see what's going on. I see some what looks like men's 6.5 Chris Jocelyn's being sold for $45 on eBay, but that's on eBay. I see a Plan B skateboard Chris Jocelyn signed MVP deck rare also sold on eBay. I'm not seeing a store that is selling Chris Jocelyn stuff. I'm seeing eBay selling Chris Jocelyn stuff. I'm trying to find like which Walmart, Target, Amazon, and it's just the one skateboard now. You said, okay, so Ethan's I'm going to the store now. I'm going to the store. You said it's there. I'm going to the store. This is eBay shoes, and they look used. 5.5s. There's one that's a size 11 that's suede. Are these his old skating shoes? So cause okay, as you almost had me there. You almost had me there. He does have some custom shoes that was given to him, but I'm not seeing shoes of his being sold right next to Jordan. The Jocelyn 2 are Chris Jocelyn's signature shoes, but where's the Jocelyn 2s? Because all I see are used shoes on eBay. Okay, you say Grizzly paid Chris Jocelyn to put his name on their products, but I am still looking for a product with his name on it that is not used. But that's exactly what I did. I looked up Chris Jocelyn at niche shoe, and all I'm seeing is YouTube used shoes for sale. Does he have good shoes? I don't know if he has good shoes, bro. He says there's no good products coming from those stores. All the skateboarding products are coming from skate shop with skate website, but you don't. This is what I'm trying to get you to see, bro. If I Google search Jordans, Michael Jordan's shoes, and then click shop, it will take me to everybody who sells Michael Jordan's shoes. Nike, if Reebok is selling it, if anybody else is selling it, if Adidas is selling it, it'll be everywhere. If Michael Jordan has his own website that is selling shoes, it would have that up there. And then eBay sells everything that everybody else sells. Now, the problem that you and I are having here is that when I type in Jocelyn shoe and then I hit search, I go to shop for it. It is only sold used on eBay. Now, are these skate shops that are selling his shoes not in possession of online stores? Because e-commerce is more popular now than in person. He said, go to Ethan's. All right, all right. Let's see if we can find an Ethan's, because we're still looking. It says built by skateboarding, ethans.com. There are and you can tell me if I'm in the right spot over here. So right now I see Marana Michelin X Santa Cruz, Windrow X Santa Cruz. So I'm in the right spot, right? Screw Velka or Volk Mid X Santa Cruz, Fader X Santa Cruz. Who is X Santa Cruz? Who is Marina Michelin? Answer me that. Who is Marina Michelin? This is men's shoes now. Who's Jake Woodton? Dystopia. CJ Nelson. Who is CJ Nelson? I'm gonna go through these comments just to make sure that I don't miss any of your comments here. You got Ethan's website. Can you read? I can read, bro. I can read. And look for the name Jocelyn. I am on the front page. Am I in the right spot? He's there. Okay. They are skaters. So do you see how they just disrespected this man? They are pro skaters. So they are pro skaters. And this is the first page. This is the first page. This is what they call a landing page. So when you get on the website, first thing pops up, men's shoes. These are the first things that pop up before I do anything else. This is what's up there. Now, we have gone, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. We don't want to do that because I don't want to click away. 7, 8, 9 rows down before I see the first 9 rows down on the front page before I see the first Jocelyn Michelin in green. And then another one right next to it that looks the same in red for $109.99. So to defend your position, you say he's got a shoe by a very limited promoted website that has a shoe. So in all fairness, he got him a shoe. I'll give you that. You say that there's a board name there. I haven't even got to the board. I was looking at the shoes. I went to the landing page. It says because that they show the newest shoe coming out. Popularity doesn't determine how good he is. Oh, really? Really? You gonna make you eat your words, sir? Because when you tell me that popularity doesn't mean that he's good, what determines good then? What determines greatest of all time then? Because he's in a sport that is less difficult than when Tony Hawk was there. So just because Tony Hawk had the skill and the popularity 20 years ago, see what I'm saying? Just because you like him doesn't mean. See, this is why I'm able to be impartial because I'm not a fan of Tony Hawk. I just understand that Tony Hawk got more promotions than anybody else at his era. And when you say that Jocelyn is better than Tony Hawk, but I could find something sold by Tony Hawk faster than I could find something sold by Chris Jocelyn. You're saying his ability to skate. So, but Tony Hawk Pro Skaters video game was a lot more street skating than bowl skating or dome skating or competition skating. They were tricking off of guardrails and poles and street lights and construction sites. And so what you're saying is they were in different skating environments. They're different skating styles, different brands or different variations of the same brand, which is equivalent to saying that while they're both in a similar sport, they're not in the same sport. Like the difference between backyard wrestling and professional wrestling, right? That's what you're trying to say? Yeah, he does skate vertical ramps. But he also does rails. He also does edges. He can ride a rail like any skateboarder. He does do a lot more vertical, like 160 yard in the air and then do a bunch of tricks and come back down. He does ollies. He does guardrails. He does a lot of that stuff. And I can say that from an unorthodox scenario that Chris does do a better job than most of the modern skaters to not fall as much and get a good stunt in from unorthodox positioning. So at no point have I ever taken any thunder away from Chris. I just said, hey, even with Chris being in Olympics, and I don't know if Tony Hawk was in the Olympics, he's harder to find. Chris is harder to find. I can tell you right now. Okay, so if I was to go ahead and put Tony Hawk in the thing right here, do Tony Hawk, HAWK. This is the difference between when I tell you somebody is really, really good to the point that they're being promoted versus they okay, but they could, it may just be his manager that's not really promoting him. You got a biography from Tony Hawk. You've got one website here at the top of the page. He's got a Wikipedia page. He's got a TikTok page. He's got 2 YouTube pages. Who is Brian Tiana? They did an article about him. That's just on the search side. If you go to the shop side, start just off the top. Okay, this is the difference between Tom and Chris. I just want you to just find this out, though. Tony got a skateboard at Dick's Sporting Goods, Amazon. He's got professional skateboard paper pack from Walmart. He's got a doll in Amazon. He's got skateboards in Walmart. He's got a skateboard collector set in eBay. He's got a bicycle with his name on it on Amazon. He's got, what is this, Televisus? He's got a video. This is an Xbox game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. He's got Adrenaline Rush Pack 3, which is the classic PC game set of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 plus Matt Hoffman's Pro Skater BMX. And nowhere in there is Chris Joslin. Then he's got a shirt. He's got glasses. That's on page 3. He's got more skateboards. Again, sold on Amazon. He's got another video game here. And which one is this one for? The Nintendo Switch. He's got Tony Pro Skater 1 and 2. That one's also sold on Amazon. He's got Pro Skater Hawk 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 4. He's got Pro Skater 1 and 2 on Nintendo Switch. Also sold. All 3 of these are sold on Amazon, but that's a different version of the same thing. He's got another one on the Xbox One. He's got even more. There's like 30 different skateboards here that are all sold by Dick's Sporting Goods. And here go. Now he's got Tony Hawk Pro Skater at Walmart for the same thing. This is what I'm trying to tell you. When you say that he's not good based on popularity, he's good based on skill. Truth is that Jocelyn in modern time right now today is is really good at what he does. Okay. And Chris Joslin is probably one of the better young skaters in his time. And when you're specific like that, you cannot be argued against, because nobody else in his age group, nobody else that is actively skating right now competitively can compete with what he's got going on. But when you use a broad spectrum statement like he is the best, sir, the best is being promoted by Walmart and Amazon. The best has your name everywhere, on t-shirts, on bicycles, not just skateboards. The best doesn't just have your name on the shoes that you wear. They got shoes that you don't never see that got your name on it. The best, your name is on cars. Your name is on laptops. Your name is on webcams. Your name is on cell phones, because you are that damn good. Okay? So I'm going to give him, I seen the video. I'm going to see that one, though. I haven't seen a 360 flip, though. And I'm not going to say that the man ain't all right. He all right. I'm just not going to say he all right. I'm just not going to say that he the best. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not taking no shots at skating. I had the same type of debate with my homeboy when he was trying to tell me that LeBron James is the greatest of all time. He was telling me the whole time that LeBron James was the greatest of all time. And I had to shut my homeboy down. I had to ruin my homeboy's soul. I think after I finished with him, he stopped coming to the podcast, because he came and he kept trying to tell me that LeBron James was the greatest of all time, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was better than him. Stephen Curry is better than him, and Stephen Curry is playing right alongside him. As soon as you find one person that does what you do better than you while you're doing what you do, you are no longer the greatest of all time. Because if LJ is the greatest, then Stephen Curry is greater than the greatest, because Stephen Curry got better stats than you. LJ was doing 50.1% from the paint, and Stephen Curry, the average league is 73%. So if half of your balls make it in, a little over half of your balls make it in from the 3-point line, and the average in the league is 73%, you are below average. And let me add, I said this before. And my homeboy's like, that doesn't make him not the greatest. I'm like, no, that definitely means he's not the greatest. The players that's got the highest assist rates, he's the greatest because he's got the most points. But if he's got 40,000 points, 50,000 points, he took 10,000 shots to make them points. Everybody else who don't have that ability because they're doing assists, they don't have the most points on the board because they're sharing the ball with other players to win the game by strategy. He's ball hogging and winning the game by ball hogging. That doesn't make him the greatest of all time. That just makes him the most active player. That just makes him the one that tries the hard. And then he has one of the longest careers because most of the other players got the points that he got in 15 to 17 years. He had to do 25, 30 years in order to get the points that he's got. So you can't say that he is effectively the greatest of all time just because he has the longest career. He just has the longest career. Drew Brees beat out everybody's stats in less time, including Tom Brady. Some people say that Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. Well, how is Tom Brady the greatest of all time when Tom Brady spent his whole career on the Patriots, where he had one of the best offenses of all time on his team, where he could do 30 seconds in the pocket and make his pass? Drew Brees had a team that was a startup team. He took a massive pay cut to improve the team. And then Drew Brees' team that Drew Brees made not only went to the Super Bowl, but broke all of the NFL records during Drew Brees' career. You take Tom Brady out of the Patriots, you put Tom Brady on the Buccaneers, and he did not make it to the playoffs. The following year, he went to the Super Bowl, but the year after that, no. Tom Brady wasn't a Super Bowl champion 2 years in a row on the Buccaneers before he retired. So, when you really define, like you said, the greatest of all time is based on skill. It's based on the quantity of accomplishments that they do in the shortest period of time. So just because he did a massive, awesome ollie, kick, flip, 360 backflip, jujitsu, double, quadruple flip, shooting star press, Hurricane Rana style off of a 2,000-foot staircase at the age of 5. He ain't still doing that shit at 27. It was a one time. He was good back then, but he ain't good now kind of thing. He's still good at what he does at this active scenario. I was just using that as an example. But what I'm saying is that if any event that you ever want to compare stats between one athlete and another athlete, you have to look at what they're producing right now in comparison to the other people that are producing right now and compare them to that. You can't compare them to the past. You can't compare them to the past because people change over time. Some people get better, but some people get worse. Some people were great at piano at 6 years old and can't hold a tune to save their life at 20. So there's a difference between the two. He's what you say he's way better now. Well, I mean, them boys that is doing power slams to one another in the Walmart are getting better than what they were back in the day. So I can say he's 10 times better than what he was when he was younger. I mean, he all right. He all right. He all right. I mean, I see some. I just feel like he broke his finger. He's not wearing a cup. At least wear the cup, y'all. At least wear the cup. You young man. You young. You young. I'm going to tell you, they might not listen. You learn how to get your jock strap and get you one of them metal cups. And you wear that till you get comfortable with it. Then you go out there and you go skateboard. If you don't got knee pads and elbow pads and helmets and all this, so you should at least have a elbow pad, a head pad, and a cup. Protect your head and protect your head. That's my advice to you. You can sacrifice skint up elbows. You can sacrifice skint up knees. But when you start leaking blood, you're going to be like, dang, I should have listened to him. Okay? And when you get concussions and you can't remember how to skate, you're not even going to be able to think, man, I should have listened to him. Think about the pro skater that fell, cracked his helmet in half. That cracked helmet could have been his skull. I'm just saying, even if you're going to do it unorthodox and that's a skater lifestyle and all this other stuff, bro, just try your best to make sure that you protect your primary objectives here. Make sure that you're able to function to skate another day. When the more dangerous the stunt is, the more protection you put on. If you're just going to skate on a flat surface where the most you could do is sprain your ankle, fine, go for broke. But when you say, I'm about to do this stunt on this 3-tier stair set, I'm going to ride the railing down this, put on a cup. if the stunt could potentially end up between your legs, put on a cup. Just saying, bro. Just saying. Because it's better to be safe than sorry. Because I can be honest with you, there are some guys who did that 20-yard fall. They landed there, and it never worked again. You got to watch his parts more than just half a video to see how good he is. No, I've seen it. I'm not saying that he's bad. I've seen it. I've been watching it for years. I've been watching stuff like that for years. I'm not going to say that I'm a skater fan, but I'm not going to say that I don't respect what these boys do. I'm not going to say that they could do something better with their lives than that. No, they can make money off of that. Anything that you can make money off of, I encourage you to do it. But what I'm trying to tell you is that regardless of, I don't have to be skilled at skating to say that you're unnecessarily not protecting important parts of your body. That's what I'm saying. I'm not critiquing his form. I'm not downplaying the height that he jumps from. I actually, because I don't have the passion in the sport as you do, him coming off of a 6 stair or him coming off of a 10 stair is more impressive to you than it is to me, because I want to see him come off of a cliff. I want to see him come off of a building and pass 8 cars and land on the ground. I want to see him come off of a helicopter. I want to see him come off of the Eiffel Tower. I want to see him ride the rail on a New York bridge. That's what I want to see. So for me to see him come off of the stairs, or come off of the sidewalk over the stairs and hit the ground for 6 minutes, high five, he did it. I liked and subscribed, so he got the views for that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it's still not, when he hurt himself so bad that he had to take his frustration out on breaking his board, bro. You got to understand, he should have been wearing a cup and a helmet. Just real. And while he got a splint on his finger, he should have had a splint on his finger and at least had his wrist wrapped up where the finger wouldn't have been sprained even further. Ego, tell me, please watch it. I'm gonna play the video a little later. I'm gonna throw it into my watch list, and I'm gonna make sure that it plays with all the other stuff that you asked me to watch, because I still gotta look at the Halloween outfit. I still gotta look at the other thing that you told me about with the Alexis person, and the other thing that you told me about the Susan person, and all this other stuff. So I got a list of things that you asked me to look at. I'm gonna go take a look at those, and then I gotta go see Joe Rogan. I thought Joe Rogan was a podcaster. That's a UFC fighter. I'm like, oh, okay, I can go take a look at that as well. He's not hurt. He's just upset if he not landing the trick. He didn't look like to tell you on the next stream. I'm gonna have to tell you in a few streams, because Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we talking about Monday. We talking about money, sir. We're talking about how to get money, how to make money, how to save money, how to spend money, how to invest money, how to get tax write-offs on money, how to start up businesses, how to invest in businesses, how to be invested in by other businesses, how to find investors, how to do something more than, because as much as I didn't mind spending the last hour and 33 minutes talking about a rich person and I'm not rich and you're not rich, I feel like it's more important for us people who haven't gotten to that rich point yet to talk about how can we get rich. What can we do to get rich? What can we do to get richer? What can we do to make more money, make money for us, so that we don't have to worry about where we're going to get money from? Because you at a young age don't have to worry about where you get your money from. You can donate to me all day long on a podcast and get your money from your daddy in the morning. But when your daddy stops giving you money, you run out of money. You got to have a way to get money when your daddy's no longer here. I got to know how to get money when my paycheck stop. I got to have another way to get more money. See what I'm saying? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's all about money. It's all about how to get money. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we talk about, social interactions and stuff like that. That's one of them shows where I'll throw in there a little bit about, what happened with the podcasting and the skateboarding guy and everything like that. The girl that messed herself up by insulting the troops and stuff like that. We could talk about those on like Thursday and Friday and stuff like that. But on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we talking about money. We talking about how to get it, how to save it, how to spend it, how to invest it. You know what I'm saying? Because even at your age right now, if you know how to get money to come in, and while you don't have bills, instead of just spending it on having fun, you take that money and put it places where by the time you're 24 or 28, you've got checks being mailed to you, direct deposits being handed to you on a regular basis off of the stuff that you did when you was a kid. you will have financial security and financial freedom, where regardless of whether or not you go to college, you got a steady income. Regardless of whether or not you get a full-time job somewhere else, you got a second steady income. If you decide to not get a job somewhere else and you decided that you wanted to be a professional skater, if you take the extra money that you're making right now and invest it in places where you can make make money for you, you have a steady income paying for your standard of living so that you could go and be a pro skater and not be broke at the same time. Because one of the hardest things about being an athlete or an actor or a musician is that you don't have a steady income to chase those types of dreams, and they call them starving artists. You gotta be homeless until you get made, and then when you get made, you get paid, and then when you get paid, you can live. But until you get made, you suffer. If you are able to invest now at a young age, if you're able to put your money where your money need to be at a young age, where you're able to get the recognition that you need to get to make it to that level, I can guarantee you 24, 25, 28, you're making 30, 40, 50,000, 60,000 a year as interest payments instead of putting all of your time and effort into going to work every day. That'll give you more time to practice your skills on the skateboard. It'll give you more time to go find more sponsors. It'll give you more ability to buy equipment so that you can record your skills so that you can get seen by sponsors, which will give you the ability to get into more competitions, which will give you the ability to go out there and beat Chris Jocelyn in a competition, which then gives you the ability to be the greatest of all time in your field because you could be the youngest person doing it. But if you're working at McDonald's on a day-to-day basis because you don't got enough money to get by, there isn't an inheritance there, and whatever inheritance it was there got divided between you and the other siblings that you got. You ain't got enough money to make money for you. You got to get out there and grind for money. So instead of you practicing and getting better at skateboarding, you're riding your skateboard to work and putting it in a janitor's closet and sitting there working 10 hours a day. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we talking about money. We talking about money. I make sure of that. Even if we talk about money and food, money and real estate, money and health and fitness, it's somewhere in there. We talking about money on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And sometimes I try to throw some money in there on Thursday, Friday, Saturday too, because it's about us having a better way financially. Because when Project 2025 take over, if you ain't got a C corporation or LLC or S corporation or something like that, you're gonna be hurting, bro. You're gonna be hurting. Even Joe, who he's got a seminar. He's going to be teaching you guys in a seminar. If y'all sign up to the seminars, he will tell you guys how taxes can benefit you and how taxes not done correctly can hurt you, and the ways that you can save, you can spend money that is considered a tax deductible purchase, where the money that you're spending is going to prevent you from having to pay taxes in the future. So it's not a waste of money because you now don't have to pay taxes on the profits that you made after you spent that money. That's the kind of stuff that we talk about. Tax exemptions, tax deductions, tax credits, rebates. That's what we start talking about, where more money is coming in your direction than money coming out of your direction. See what I'm saying? So I definitely want to make sure that you guys are able to make money for you. And I definitely want you guys to be able to be successful, because when y'all come, when I get Chris Jocelyn to come on the show and do some tricks on the show and all this, because I can't say I'm gonna get him to come to this show. I'm just saying, if I would have, y'all be able to say, hey, I was on that podcast and I repped him. And when I'm a millionaire and I'm able to say, hey, Bricko Mode was here. He was here when I was at the bottom. I get to put you guys on blast. I get to promote you guys when you guys are some of the ones that I give my special thanks to towards the end of the night of the show. All those folks that come to the show and show us love and respect. I really appreciate that. So for those of you that are diving in late towards the end, we just did an hour 39 minutes. We got in here a half hour late, but we did an hour 39-minute show today, and we typically start at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 5 Pacific. So for those of you that are interested in everything that we got going on, since we're going to be talking about money on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, y'all need to come back and come see what we got going on tomorrow. See what we got going on for the rest of the week. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Hit the follow button on Twitter and TikTok. Hit that subscription button. For those of you, it's in this direction now because the screen is inverted. Hit the subscription button right there to take you to the YouTube page for you to subscribe to the YouTube page. For those of you that are on Twitch, if you use our @this and that uh tag on YouTube. You can find us, hit the subscription page there. It'll give you notifications when the show goes live. If it doesn't give you 30 minutes in advance notice that the show's about to go live, I strongly recommend that y'all come to the podcast every day of the week, because we got something to talk about different every day of the week. Even if it's something that wasn't planned. Because like you see, we talked about skaters today. We'll talk about whatever. We talk about this and that and everything in between. So there's no off topics here, as long as it doesn't violate a community guideline. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign out of TikTok first. Ladies, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking you to make it make sense. So ladies, make it make sense. And for the rest of you guys on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, I really appreciate you guys coming to the podcast. Y'all definitely make us what we are. So I really appreciate y'all on a day-to-day basis. Thank you very much. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow night. I'm your host, Xander. Look at that. It froze on me. This is one reason I said thank you guys for coming to the podcast. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow night. I'm your host, Xander, on This and That, where we talk about this.